Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Miss SeSe Foster, welcome to Reggae Chat Global.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Can I just say you're looking absolutely stunning?
Thank you, my darling.
I mean, you always show up. You're so beautiful, and I love the glitter fascination. Let's just do it for the camera. Glitter! All right, so it's such a pleasure to have you here today because you are somebody who has come to my attention and lots of people's attention in the world of reggae, but just in general in the music industry. You have got quite an interesting backstory in terms of your journey with music. And so we're going to get into that, talk a bit about it. As of course, you know, we're doing this special series for International Women's Day and Women's Month and Women's History Month for those across the pond. And I just thought, you know what? Let me get some tea with SeSe and, you know, just really get into what drives you and how you got into this business. So, how did you get into the business of reggae?
Oh, the business of reggae. Well, I didn't quite start out in reggae, but obviously, you know, growing up with my mum, reggae music was always playing in the house and gospel music. But reggae was born within my soul. Well, actually, it was always there, but I decided I wanted to do reggae music, I think around 2015. Officially do reggae music, and it was more or less to save me, really. I felt like I needed a bit of saving.
Really?
So yeah, reggae music keeps me grounded.
I love that.
And then I guess I'm here, I'm still here. I feel like I've got some work to do. I've got, you know, my baton to carry. But I didn't always start out in reggae, no.
We're going to talk about that because I found some stuff out about you that I find rather intriguing in terms of you not starting out in reggae. And they call you the music chameleon. You're a singer-songwriter, but you were also a finalist on X Factor 2013.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
And more recently on The Voice 2023. And you ended up in Camp Will I Am, which is huge. Team Will, epic. So we're going to talk about all of that. Yeah. But you mentioned that you didn't actually start out in reggae music. If I remember rightly, and I'm correct, you were more in the pop game, but also rapping.
Yeah. Before pop, I used to spit bars, like with the man them, and be the one spitting bars, and people would be shocked, like, oh my God, you can actually spit. I'm like, okay. So spitting bars went to singing on the choruses as a singer with everybody. And then from then I just was like, okay, you know, maybe I'll join the choir, maybe not. Growing up in school, didn't want to join the choir, did go through some bullying and stuff like that in school. I was very small, you know, and quiet. But I was forced into the choir. You know, my choir leader, he said, you're going to join the choir, Sharice at the time. So then from the choir, I ended up being asked to sing for Bob Marley's memorial.
Hold on. Bob Marley's memorial at the age of 12?
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. That was on BBC, if I remember.
Yeah, so my school set that up, and that moment for me, I was like, oh, the response I was getting from the public as we were singing, I said, I like the feeling of this. I just love this, and I decided I actually want to sing. I want to be a singer. And then it continued there. So that was my first little strike of reggae, that feel of reggae music. But then I continued into pop. You know, I stopped spitting bars, you know, becoming a mother as well. I feel like I was a tomboy. So after having my first child, I became a bit girly, I found. That went into the singing. I kind of stayed singing and didn't spit bars anymore. Went into pop after the TV show, especially, a lot of pop music performances. And after touring and things like that, I was like, oh my God, I feel empty a bit, you know. And then it was Chronix's album. It was they see me smile, but they don't know what I feel inside. So I kept just repeating that. So as I would get dressed and doing the things that I were doing, I even joined a girl band again after the X Factor. I think being in that girl band and the struggles in that girl band, I was feeling lost in that pop world. Then reggae saved me, and I left that girl band and I just came back home because I was living in Leicester. I said, all right, I've got to go home. I can't be in that girl band because I felt like instead of singing, we were selling other things, you know, as a woman. So I had to leave that. I was losing myself in the music. And reggae saved me, and I said, I want to do reggae music. And then I had my first show at Hootenanny Brixton. I was like, yeah,
Just down the road from where we are, by the way. Yeah. Big up Hootenanny Brixton, by the way. Always repping the culture.
Yeah, and then that's when I said, okay, it's something about reggae music just gives me life. You know, I'm a mental health advocate as well, so that mental health journey of mine that I've been through, that I shared with the world, you know, launched the campaign for Heads Together, you know, for mental health. Reggae saved me. You know, and that's why I love reggae music, and I can sing a lot of other genres, but right now reggae is where I'm at, and I need to fulfill that. I will do other genres and I will do other music, but reggae for me.
Reggae's your home.
Reggae is my home. I'm a reggae baby for life.
Me too, girl. So. I can't sing, but you know, I'm still a reggae baby. What a beautiful story. And there's so much in there that I really want to get into. I want to take you back to your experience in two of the biggest talent competitions or music talent competitions in the UK. Of course, the first one being X Factor. You spoke about being in a girl band, you spoke about continuing in another girl band and how you felt like you were losing yourself. And the reason I want to talk about that is because, as we know, women have a really hard time in the industry, in the music industry, right? It is quite a hostile place for a female to be in. And I'm sure you know that Rebecca Ferguson, who was also an X Factor contestant and finalist, I think she came second in the year that she won. She's recently come out in the last few months speaking about her experience of that toxic industry, and she's really been vocal about it, the misogyny that she faced, the abuse that she faced, and having to keep quiet about it and just continue signing agreements that were so not, just really exploitative. So tell me a bit about your own personal experience being in that space.
Well, you know, X Factor, you know, shout out to everybody and thank you for putting me through those rounds. But that was a very painful experience, if I must say so myself. I didn't ask to do it. They actually found me on Facebook. Oh, wow. Told me to audition. They said, meet up with these boys and find another girl. I was like, okay, you know. I can hear my electric bleeping. I'd love to change my life, you know, make some money. So I went and auditioned, and at the time I was singing, but I guess I was having fun with singing. I wasn't taking it serious like I do now. So I went, met with the boys, found a name. We called ourselves Dynamics. We started to scout other girls. So we found a girl called Sophie. She auditioned with us, which the public won't know because they axed her before the TV round, so that was a bit of heartache to go through. At the same time, I'm getting to know the boys, so I didn't know them, but we gelled. But they kept cutting us. They said, "You guys are not going to make the finals," but then they told us to go home, and then they put me in a new girl group called Miss Dynamics, and that was hard because I had to learn to get to know the girls in the public eye as well, because we're living in yet again, you know what I mean? So, and then when you're auditioning, you line up for hours. And you're seeing people cry, scream. It was draining. You know, then you're up next. You've been waiting for 6 hours now, back and forth, checking your voice. Your vocals are drying out. Then they're moist again. Then they're drying out. A girl's come out crying. Someone's arguing. No, they did that to me. Why would they do that to me? You're looking around like, what's next? You go in now, try to put your best foot forward. I did feel like it was.
That sounds grueling.
It was. So I have to big up anybody that auditions for those shows because it's actually not easy. So when everybody watches it back and people are laughing behind the screen, it's not really funny because what would happen is a beautiful singer, she didn't get through, but they put a silly act through. And those things are painful, you know? But I do think it's scripted and, you know, but I'm going to just be honest, it is quite scripted. I do feel like even we were possibly scripted in because the story was myself in a girl band, that didn't work. In a mixed band, that didn't work, of course. And then you put me into a new band, it was going to happen. I personally told them I wanted to go home because I had found out I was pregnant. Okay. So I said, you know, I'm just going to come back next year. Plus I said, you know, SeSe, maybe you're just meant to be a soloist because you don't really know the boys. Maybe you should just come by yourself. And why have you not auditioned by yourself? But I do take opportunity, you know. And I said, you know, I said to them, I think I'm going to come back next year, you know. And I didn't tell them I was pregnant. I just said I want to come back next year. And I just took the pregnancy test like 3 days before. Didn't know how far gone I was. But at the time when I checked in the end, I was 3.5 months. Wow, I didn't know it. Okay. Yeah. So, but I just kept getting through, I guess. They said, SeSe, they really want to see you again. The producer was like, but I'm going to take this opportunity. I don't have a silver spoon. I do want to change my life, you know, especially for my daughter who I had at the time already, you know. So I kept getting through and here we are on the show. And going through the motion of the show, I will say it's more entertainment than music. X Factor is, 100%. But it does teach you to have thicker skin in the industry. With the X Factor, press everywhere. And I did find myself locked up in my home. I couldn't go anywhere. Is
that part of the conditions of being in that?
I suppose so, yeah. You go out, is that SeSe? Are you the pregnant one? And then when I had my son, I had strangers just literally just opening the buggy. And I couldn't go anywhere, and I just more or less stayed home, for a few years. And then the contract, on top of it, I would put things out, it would be taken down. Yeah, couldn't release my music. And
I've heard that, so through Rebecca's story, I've heard that things have been blocked, and
they have.
There is so much of a toxic kind of seriously dark side to that world of X Factor and other shows like that. So the fact that you're still here and you're still pushing through is great. And of course, you went on now to do The Voice
UK.
Is just recently.
Yeah, that was a better experience. The Voice UK actually care about the voice. They care about your well-being as well, and they're not there to exploit you. I didn't feel any. It was just a case of how you even get the psychologist to talk to if you're feeling away or if you're feeling about how you feel about social media. But The Voice UK was a beautiful experience, and they cared about bringing the best out of you. I will say you do have to conform to what songs they want. So I would say, what you saw of my audition wasn't fully SeSe, but I fought as much as I could to bring as much reggae into it.
And you did it.
I said, right, please, can we have it like that? And can you do the drops like that? And they're like, okay, let's have a meeting. And then they came back, and I was like, why do you need a meeting? But The Voice UK was a much better experience. They actually care about you. And
what was it like being in Team Will? Because you got through to Team
Will.
Will.i.am
is he's lovely. He's lit. And what you won't see is him chilling with, my family backstage and, going, brrr, so on a big thing. They was doing all the Jamaican. He was absolutely amazing. And the whole show on the whole was a beautiful experience. Not easy at the same time. You are putting yourself on the line. Chairs are in front of you. That's not turned. When you walk out there, when I walked out there, I wanted to cough and couldn't. So I was singing with a frog in my throat. At the sound, I was like, SeSe cough, and then you could hear a pin drop. So you just have to be prepared. It's now time to go. It's now or nothing. You know what I mean? But I got two turns, and yeah.
And what made you decide to go with Will.i.am?
My heart said go for the first person that turned. I wish I picked Anne-Marie now. I don't know. I didn't know she was digging that vibe. I didn't know she was doing all of that. I had no idea, because you can't. I think I was lost in my moment at some point. But they both accepted who I was, and they said they wouldn't change me, and you're very unique and well done. So I'm very proud that I carried reggae music on that show. They said I was the first one to do something like that, represent reggae music. So I'm just doing my bit, carrying the baton. Yeah.
Girl, and you blazed a trail, honestly, and we just salute you for that. And that's why I wanted to talk to you, because so many people, I guess, wouldn't be brave enough to do that, because they would think, maybe reggae music isn't for a show like this. But like you've just you took your risk, and it paid off, and you represented. And it's not just those talent shows that you've done, but you've done so much more. You have performed with Capleton, you've performed with Junior Ree, you've performed just recently on Rebel Salute, just now, Rebel Salute 2024. Tell me about that.
Oh, that was a beautiful experience. Big up Tony Rebel, big up Ryan, thank you so much. But also supportive. And I kind of got the link for that show doing Bunny Wailer's tribute.
Really?
Yeah, the year before for Naki Wailer. I just sang a song, and they pulled it up 3 times in a row, and I was like, okay. And then they just said, and then Tony Rebel was at the gate. So I was like, oh, hi, He's like, how are you? Good. You sounded amazing. I'm like, and people saying, Tony, you hear her? You hear that girl there from UK? And it just so happened that they gave me an interview. Tony said, you can sing that song live? So I was like, okay, see, no nerves now. And I just sang the song live, and he said I sound just like the record. And then and he said, Ryan, what do you say, Rebel Salute? Ryan said, yeah, man. I said, I didn't believe it was real, but then it ended up being real. So yeah, and that was one of my dreams come true. That's actually written on my kitchen wall above my cooker. One of my dreams, yeah. So I got to tick that off.
When did you write that on your kitchen wall?
I think it was probably 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that manifested for you?
Yeah.
So are you a great believer in manifestation?
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, wow.
I just believe, because I felt like I saw it. you know, and I just saw it. And then when I met Tony Rebel for the first time, it was my second time actually in Jamaica. So it's not like I'd been going for a long time, but I always felt like that was a show I saw myself on. Just like The Voice UK, I saw it. I don't think I saw X Factor, but after I did X Factor, that's when I started to do my list. And I pull it on my kitchen. So every time I'm cooking, I just look up at my list and say, right, Lord, when's the next one? When is it? But belief is very important.
That is so amazing, because if I take you back to what you said at school, where you were quiet and you were bullied a bit, and where did that conviction and belief come from, and that drive to say, do you know what, I'm going to do this? Where did that come from?
I think it came from when I almost lost myself, I believe. You know, I had prenatal depression, and then I had postnatal depression with my first child. That's okay. And, you know, I did speak out about it, you know, to help somebody else. I did seminars, I've done panel work, you know, to help somebody. And, you know, the response that I've got, like, thank you so much. You saved my daughter, or you saved my son. I'm like, well, it was worth it then. And it makes me proud. And I was embarrassed before, but I'm not now. I have a duty, I believe, you know. I feel like I'm not just here to sing. I feel like I'm here to carry a message through my music. I'm a storyteller at the end of the day, you know what I mean, through my music as well. And I just want to make music that heals people, you know.
And you're
that's
healing
me.
yourself through that journey.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So
because you come back to reggae, and reggae saved you, and I think, having spoken to many people in this industry, performers, artists, songwriters, and asking them really what they believe reggae is and why it's so important, the story I hear all the time, or the words that I hear all the time, is that it's healing. It provides that healing. It's on that vibration. It really does, doesn't it? I mean, even for me, when I hear certain tunes, it just takes me right back, and it makes me feel safe. It's like this big hug, embrace around me, and I just feel so at home in the music. It's so feel good. So for you to be doing that in that genre, healing yourself through that journey, but sharing that journey with the world, is absolutely amazing. And you spoke about, of course, you're a mother of two. How old are you? Both girls?
A boy and a girl.
Okay.
So my daughter's 14 and my son's 10.
Wow.
And my daughter sings as well. I'm not sure about my son. I'm not sure he's interested, but my daughter sings as well. So she's got it. But I don't want to force her.
No.
What I've gone through. I let her take it naturally,
Yeah.
and I'll guide her the best way I can. You know,
Because it's so hard. You've got all of this backdrop as a woman, you know, being a mother in this space and dealing with pre and postnatal depression and issues to do with mental health, etc. But then in the mix of the music industry, which is so male dominated, and then the reggae industry, which is so male dominated, so you've not only got the issues that you're dealing with every day as a woman, and you spoke about cooking, because as a mother, that's normal duty, right? You've got to do it, but right, and you've got a family, so you've got to perform that role. So you've got all of these duties to perform, but also you're trying to make a way for yourself in a space that isn't always welcoming, especially from a male perspective. So I want you to talk to me about how you have managed to carve out this space for yourself and some of the challenges that you've faced in this male-dominated industry.
Well, you know, it's still not easy, I will say, and being a mother on top of it, and the fact that music is fun for me, but it's a job now. So there comes stressful sides of music as well. And then being a young female too, there's the sexualization of the female and everything. I just take it one day at a time. I've learned that when it gets too much, I have to take a break.
Right.
It's very important for me to just basically lock off. I won't even listen to the radio. I won't even listen to the radio. I have to lock off personally. And then the next day, music from morning till night, because I can never leave it, you know. I even asked God, I said, God, why am I here still? Like, I can't do this music thing. It's too hard. It's too much. You go here because you don't want to date that person. They held on to your music, and I've been trying to work on my EP for a long time. So I've gone through my fair share, trying to be as respectful to myself as I can. There are opportunities that I've faced where I'm just like, he's doing that to me, you know, but I know me, and I deserve, my voice should take me there. It shouldn't have to be anything else that took me there. So I've walked away from many opportunities with my head held high still. I've lost many opportunities with my head held high. The most I can say is stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself, and at the end of the day, it's about the inner peace. And music for me is a business, but I don't want to lose the love, because I lost the love at one point for music, but it came back through reggae, and that's why reggae grounds me. So whenever I do my pop, or I may do drum and bass or other genres, back to reggae. If it's a long day doing pop, or if I'm touring, when I do Russian night, it's pop music. When I get back from my little tours, straight reggae music.
Tell me about Russia.
Russia's lit. Russia's lit. It is lit.
I've never been there. We hear
lit.
so much about Russia, and you know
Yeah.
they're maybe not so welcoming of people of color, etc., etc. Tell me about your
not
experience
experienced.
of Russia.
All right, I've had one scary experience where I was in the airport and I was so scared, but two people stayed with me. They're like, he's very, very cold. I was like, yeah, can you stay with me? But that was my first time there, so I guess I looked lost. But every time I go to Russia, they love me. They're like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful, you're so skinny. I'm like, okay. But I think they know when you're a performer. If you've got that performer vibe, they're always going to take pictures and play with my hair and just all type of stuff. But they know how to party. Russians, they know how to party. I've been to quite a few places in Russia. They know how to party, but I have my security and stuff like that. Obviously, don't go anywhere by yourself at night. But I find I've had a very good experience in Russia, to be honest. Yeah, I would call Russia my second home, to be honest. Wow. Yeah, second home because I've been there that much. Wow. But yeah, Russia's good.
Speak any Russian?
All I know is spasiba, which is thank you. I say thank you for everything.
Spasiba.
Okay. So to remember, think of spicy buns. That's how I taught it. Spasiba.
Spicy bar.
Yeah, spicy bar.
Spicy bar.
Like spicy bar. Oh, where's that? I'm like, yeah.
I'll try to remember that if I ever get to
Spicy bar,
Russia.
yeah.
So listen, you have done so much, not just in the reggae space. You have fought against many challenges, whether it be doing these kinds of talent shows, whether it be the misogyny, the sexualization in the industry, and you've really come back full circle to yourself, to your grounding and to reggae. The first time I saw you perform was at Giants of Lovers Rock, which is amazing. I hadn't had the opportunity to see you perform live, although I've seen you at other events, and you were incredible there.
Oh, thank
and
you.
as somebody young in that space that sometimes can be taken as something that's for a past generation, it was wonderful to see you in that space. How did that opportunity come about?
Well, big up Orlando. He just messaged me, SeSe. I said, hey King, how are you? And then it just so happened that I did that show, and I did another show for him after that one, like a weekender. But yeah, Giants of Lovers Rock was on my list later, way later on in the year. It wasn't originally on my bucket list. But I just thought, Giants of Lovers Rock. I think I started to meditate on that one a year before I got that gig. So being on that one was a dream come true for me again, because, you know, there's certain shows I like, SeSe, you must tick those particular shows off your list, you know? Like another one that's on my list is Summerfest, those kind of shows. I have to have those done, and then I'm moving on to like the biggest shows in Nigeria, for example, and, you know, New York. So, but something about reggae and Jamaica and conquering those platforms is all on my bucket list. I put it all in the universe whenever your time is. I believe in God's timing as well.
Amen, amen.
And so I'm not worried. You know, even music, the industry, it's not easy. It really isn't, you know. But I'm a believer in all in God's time, so I just chill with it, you know, and say, okay, if it's not now, if now's not my time, it's not my time.
And you just open your hands to your blessings, and I can see that you are being continually blessed. I mean, you talk about big shows. You've done City Splash here, right? You did City Splash, I believe, last year, and you're doing it again this year, which must be super exciting. How did you find that? Now City Splash is probably the biggest reggae festival in the UK, and we love it. How was your experience?
Oh, it was lit. Once again, it was just so lit. I don't know how else to describe it. I love putting on a show. So when I've got like especially live bands, I come alive with the live band. You know, something in the drums, something spiritual in the drums, in the instrument. But I do love a live performance, and it just lets me show who I am, and I just want to entertain. You know, so this year we're amping it up a notch, and let's have some fun.
What stage are you on this year?
I'm on SeSe's and I'm on Radio 1 with Mad Professor. So
nice.
Have some fun. So the aim is to get on the main stage. They said they'll think about it. I'm manifesting. They said, okay, we're gonna think about it. So all I've got to do now is just keep working, get that hit song, get that relevancy going, and I have my beliefs.
So talking about hit songs,
you
got a single coming out, right?
Yes.
Tell me some more about that.
So that's with Royal Sounds. Big up the Royal Sounds. They're my favourite band, and they are lit. Everybody's just lit. Don't take that word lightly. They are so amazing, and they were one of my dreams to work with as well. So it's so, once again, manifestation. They're cool guys. And I said, I really would love to sing with them live, and it's happening this year. So I'm a believer in that manifestation. It really is real, guys, honestly, like, you know.
So is the single out? Has it come out? When's it coming out?
It's coming out. It should be coming out on my birthday, which
When's
is
your birthday?
April the 11th, you know, Aries, you know.
Happy birthday in
thank
advance.
you. So yes, I'm working on that. So actually later on today, I have a shoot for the single cover.
Girl, you are shoot ready.
Yeah, do you think?
Oh,
My nose is greasy. Come on, it's part of my nose.
You're glowing.
Thank you. But yeah, so I'm doing that today. So I've got 2 singles with them, but the first one I'm going to put out is called Sugar Water. So yeah, hashtag sweet fruit. So, you know, I'm going to steal your strawberries down there.
I know. By the way, SeSe came in today and she saw some strawberries, really beautiful strawberries on the table, courtesy of the production management. And she's like, "Can I take your strawberries?" And I just thought she wanted to eat the strawberries. And she's like, "No, I have a shoot. And part of my theme for my shoot is fruit. Can I take them with me?" I was like, "Yes, girl, you can take them as long as you eat them."
I couldn't find the colour in the store. They were a bit orangey. Those ones are very red. So I'm going to have to take those with me.
So listen, when you see her single cover, the album's coming. Yes. I keep saying album, it's not a Freudian slip, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
but when you see the single cover and you see those strawberries, know those strawberries are courtesy of
Reggae
they were.
Chat
Global.
Yes.
So listen, what is next for SeSe? You've got the single coming out, but what's next? There's so many things that are on your bucket list. What's next for you?
There's so much things. Right. What's next is my goal right now for the rest of this year is to get some songs out, because contractually it was hard for me to put music out. Yep. So that's why I've been missing for a bit. But, you know, we're dealing with those contracts. So I want to release my music finally, because I feel like people don't know who I am yet. I feel like what I've got out there it's just not me, you know. Mm-hmm. So this year we'll be releasing music, and I want to put on. I'm definitely writing. I write all my music.
Good.
I'm looking for songwriters actually as well. I'd love to. Yeah, I'm looking for some songwriters as well. Yeah, this year I need to put out music. It's about putting out music for me this year. I've got a tour being set up for me. Ryan says, "SeSe, when you're back, let me know." I'm going back to Jamaica this July. But I was thinking, do I take a holiday? But I don't think I can. When you land on an island, it's like, no, I've got to get these opportunities. But they said, "Look, SeSe, let us know when you're back. We're going to line up your tour for you." So I've got 2 different people wanting to line up my tours for me. So just more performances, more getting people to know who I am and recognise my voice.
Listen, I feel like you've got to get working, but I feel like you're out there, and for me it's all about energy, and it's all about the essence that you bring, and your essence is amazing. You know, the first time I met you was at City Splash last year, working with Reggae Chat. Didn't see you perform, but saw you perform and heard you perform at Giants of Lovers Rock, which was incredible. Sadly missed you at Rebel Salute, but heard that you did an amazing job. Thank you. All of these things are just happening for you, and you know, you just keep putting the vision out there and keep manifesting, and it will continue to happen. Amen. And we need young women like you, full of energy, who have been on a journey and have been on that growth journey, but also on a spiritual journey, because I'm all about that as well, right? Yes. And continuing that and inspiring others coming up behind you. Yes. So if you were to give a word of inspiration for anybody who has a dream out there, or someone in the music industry, especially young females, what would it be?
Okay, Queens, I would say, please read the contracts. Please, you know, no matter what you're going through, okay, yes, it's an opportunity, but please read it. If you don't understand it, get a music lawyer, get somebody to read it over with you, because that did hold me back for about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Secondly, I would say, do it for the love. Make sure you do it for the love. Doing it for the love is so important, more than just the business side, because it will stress you out if you're not loving it. And when you're loving it, you're manifesting more. The vibrations are much higher when you're loving it. And I would say, take a break when you need the break. It's okay to take a break. Mm-hmm. Believe in yourself. Rest when you need to. And believe in God, that it's about God's timing. And have some fun and live your best life.
Amen, amen. And glitter.
Yes,
don't forget the glitter. Now, you mentioned about starting out as a rapper, so I want you, if you don't mind, to spit a few bars.
Oh my God, they're tragic.
Listen,
I was only like what? I was like 11 upwards, 13. I think
get on with it. I'm sure you'd be great. Come on.
So before my daughter named me SeSe, by the way. They used to call me Shers before. My name's Sharice. They used to call me Shers. So it was like this. The name Shers and I'm sweet like candy. I'm sitting on top of the world just like brandy. When I class this chick because I flow like Shandy, then they're gonna run like, you get me, Farmsy. They get to I can't go. I can't do the rest. It's terrible. It was clash bars I was writing. Listen, that's what it was. And they would shout their bandanas on my head. I'm like, but then, yeah, I was the tomboy.
But I love the fact that all of that versatility and all of that talent that's taken you to where you are. This is all part of your story and all part of your journey. So embrace it, own it, and be proud of it. You know, because there's so much more, I believe, to come for you. This lady, watch this space. She's coming to a festival near you. Her single's coming out soon. Can you tell us what the single's called?
Sugar Water, #secret.
You did say that, Sugar Water. Remember that?
Big up Royal Sounds. I can't wait. I'm performing that one live as well at City Splash. Go and get your tickets.
I wanted to ask you, actually, in terms of inspiration, who has inspired you as a woman in this industry? Who has been your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration, a woman in the industry, would have to be Elaine. I love her music. Elaine's music is what I put on when I'm doing my makeup before I come. I played her again today, you know. I love Elaine, but at the same time I love Capleton. So Capleton's more of my live vibes. Just the energy that Capleton has just feeds me, do you know? And I listen to his set. Just no one on him. I listen to that before my sets. So I'm like, let's go. And then I leave out and go to my shows. Elaine, I get a vibe from her, that peacefulness and the way she does her harmonies and stuff. So if you listen to my music or the music coming out, you hear my little harmony twang. I love Elaine to pieces, but my biggest inspiration overall would be my mother, because my mother sings, but she didn't do anything with it. So
well, you're taking that and you're going forward. Yes. You mentioned Capleton before we go, because you told me a really interesting story about Capleton. This girl actually went fishing with Capleton.
Oh, so lit. It was so,
fishing with
hilarious.
Capleton?
Yeah.
I know you performed with him, but you went fishing.
Yeah,
how?
We went fishing. So we went at night time because I think something to do with the moon or the tide. So he was teaching me some stuff. I need to remember it. But he was fishing with the line, so he was doing like the natural way. Is that the natural way? Fishing. Yeah, the line fishing, and then they were setting up. And we did wait hours, but he's very patient. So he sat in his seat right at the edge of the cliff, looking out to the waters. And if you look at it was beautiful. The darkness and everything was so gorgeous. And he sat there for hours. I fell asleep on some rocks, and I woke up. I'm still here. But then I heard the fishing line start to rattle, and that's when I jumped up screaming, not helping, you know. And then everyone was trying to catch the line, but this fish, I don't know if this fish was a big one because it went with the line. They were pulling it. The guys were pulling the line. Capleton was like, come on. He was still sitting there, but everybody else was running for the line. But the fish went with the line. I think the hook was in its mouth, he said. It was a bit sad.
So the fish got away?
Yeah, the fish got away.
So did you go to bed without any supper that night?
Well, the thing is, they set back the other lines up, but I was like, Capleton, I'm cold. I said, Capleton, I'm cold, no. He's like, no, man, when I finish. I said, no. I said, I have to go home. I'm cold. Because it's new to me, you know, but it was a beautiful experience, and I know that I'll get used to it, but this is the stuff I need to be doing, you know. My friend Urkel said, look, SeSe, walk bare feet. You know, on a Saturday, wear black, you know. So I don't know if whoever's into that and, you know your spiritual, connect with nature, you know, the sun, you know, all of that. So that keeps me grounded as well. You know, that keeps me peaceful for mental health reasons as well. But, you know, Capleton taught me so much. He was teaching me about the tides and the water and the best time when fish come to gather. He is such an inspiration to nature and peace. You know,
he's so uplifting.
And he was singing, and he's such a vibe.
Such a vibe. His energy is such a vibe.
He's one of my favourite
artists of all time, and he's on City Splash too.
Yes,
City Splash is going to be lit.
Yeah.
Listen, SeSe, I know you've got to go for your wonderful shoot for your single cover, Sugar Water, by the way. Before you go, let people know where they can find more about SeSe Foster.
I would say just Google me, SeSe Foster, SeSe Foster, Foster, and you'll see all that I'm doing when it comes to mental health and my music and all the other little bits that I do. Just Google me.
Thank you so much, Queen. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Likewise,
continue
Queen.
to blaze a trail, continue to be you, and continue to shine the beacon of light for reggae music.
I will do. Always, Queen. Thank you.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?